Now, I know you have a fresh chapter of a challenge, and I want you to share with us what just hit your family. Is it just a couple weeks ago, or how long ago?
No, it's been into July. I lost my brother-in-law to pancreatic cancer. And it was pretty hard. I still have a hard time with it. He was my best friend.
It's your best friend.
My best friend. And I got some guilt feeling because he came down and they diagnosed him with pancreatic cancer and he was dead in 10 days. 10 days.
So from the day he got the diagnostic of it, he only lived another 10 days.
10 days.
And so it's cancer such as God delivered you from?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. And like I was saying, I had two friends, one classmate and one friend. I used to sit in a VFW bar and drink with him. And he was a little younger than me. And he got throat cancer. And once again, he went to Chicago and he had the throat cancer. And they didn't stop it. And he didn't make it.
It's a serious disease.
It's serious.
It's a serious disease.
You know, I've got so many family members and my best friends have died from cancer. I got so many people in my circle of life that have died from cancer since 2016. And I've lost so many people in my life. And I guess that's what happens if you live to get a little older. That's the price you pay. You bury everybody else.
Yeah, my grandma would say something like that.
You know, and it's tough.
Yes.
And you can't let the devil, you can't
it.
have that guilt feeling. Like my brother-in-law, I just wanted to help him. I said, I'm gonna take you to my cancer doctor. And you know, it wasn't meant to be.
It wasn't meant to be. That's
well,
right.
let me tell you something. My brother-in-law, he didn't go to church. He didn't go to church. But 2 nights before he died, in the middle of the night,
come on,
you know what he hollered out? God help me. Help me, God. All right? So I hope he made his peace. Yes. And maybe God gave him the chance to make his peace.
Yes. That's what's so beautiful. You know, we look at that parable in the Bible where the one man worked 8 hours and one just worked an hour and they get the same pay. It doesn't matter how long our test is here.
Right.
It just matters that we submit.
That's
and
it.
He gives us the same reward.
That's it.
So, wow.
Yeah.
And you know, one thing that the Lord shared with me a few years ago is that when we lose a loved one, such as your best friend who was your brother-in-law, when they're in the hands of the Lord, they're still able to help us.
Yeah.
It's still able to go to the Father for us.
Absolutely.
And help with your family and different things. So this was your wife's brother.
My sister's brother.
Oh, your sister's
My little
brother.
sister's brother.
Your little sister's brother.
Our little sister's husband, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we definitely urge all the viewers to keep your family in prayer, because we know that even Christ, he cried when he witnessed the mourning of us losing a loved one. And it's a natural feeling. It's natural, even if we know they're going to heaven. Yeah. It's natural.
It's a natural, yeah.
You know, and it's good because it means we loved them.
Yeah. It was love, absolutely, unconditional love.
Yeah.
And you know, just if you give your heart to Jesus, it doesn't mean you're going to be on easy street. You're still going to have to live life on life's terms. You're still going to have, and this is what this taught me, you're still going to have your ups and downs.
That's right.
You know, I thought life was going so good. All them years doing drugs and sneaking around the wife's back while I was married and everything, and going to the big jobs and doing all the dope and stuff and going to the bars and all that. You know? And just seven years of good, clean, and then the cancer hits, and I'm thinking, wow, really? At first I didn't think it was going to be that serious.
Right.
And it didn't hurt. The cancer didn't hurt. It was a treatment. It was the chemo and the radiation.
What saves your life.
That's what saves your life, but it's what they got to do.
Is what's hard.
And you know, I'm just saying, I prayed a lot. I mean, I had people praying, so many from Hawaii. I met a Baptist preacher when I was in Hawaii, and I worked for him, and he had the whole church praying for me every Sunday. Always him and his wife both, you know. people from Narcotics Anonymous down in Houston, Texas, when I went down there for a while. They're prayer warriors in Indiana and Kentucky and Texas and just all over this country. I had different people praying for me.
Ain't that amazing?
And just keep the faith. That's the thing.
Yes.
You know, your attitude. Everything's a blessing.
Yes.
My cancer was a blessing. My addiction was a blessing. I got a chance to help people now, and it makes me see life a whole lot different. This cancer, I just don't have time for no ignorance. You know, no drama. I just want to work. I feel so good. I get up and I'm chomping at the bit to get up and go to work.
So you're chomping at the bit to go to work.
Just to get out.
Just to get out.
You know, I wound up staying in Hawaii for 5 years, and everybody said, oh, Hawaii's so beautiful, I'd like to live there. But you know what? After having this cancer and looking, anywhere you go, there's beauty.
That's
beauty
right.
is in the eye of the beholder. You don't have to be
Look
in
at this
Hawaii.
beautiful tree.
Oh, that's what I'm telling you. The God made.
That white
So
tree
beautiful.
over there is
so beautiful. So, you know.
Even in the midst of all this gravel and stone, it's
Right.
still beautiful.
Absolutely. There's beauty in this country wherever you go.
That's the truth.
You know, and the people too. I don't try to judge nobody. And like I said, if somebody comes to me and they ask me for help, they know what I do. And I'll make the call down to Texas and they're serious, they want the help. I'm not going to ask you to go, but if you want the help,
Right.
hop in and I'll drive you down there. I'll make the call, and if they got a spot for you.
Yeah. And see, because you've been through it, you can understand.
Yeah.
And I would kind of think, correct me if I'm wrong, for real, even correct me if I'm wrong, that you kind of can see the sincere people because
you can.
Because you
lived it.
When you wasn't sincere.
When you lived it. Yeah, I can.
At one time, you probably at times of that stage, you weren't sincere. You just were tired for the day, but tomorrow you're going to do it again.
Right. Yeah, that's addict behavior.
Right, addict behavior.
Addict behavior.
Yeah.
And you know, and one thing I want to say for all you smokers, it's probably the worst addiction there is. It's no different than doing cocaine, heroin, smoking weed, popping pills. There's no difference. It's self-centered, selfish, and self-destructive. And it destroys families.
Yes.
And it kills more people in this country every year than drugs, alcohol, murder, and suicide put together. Tobacco kills more than all those put together, but it's legal. Because once you get on tobacco, it's a cash cow. Everybody makes money off tobacco. Everybody. Right down to the guy that gets to mow your grave. So tomorrow, instead of smoking, take that money you're going to spend on the cigarettes and give it to the Ronald McDonald House or St. Jude's. Be a man. Man up, woman up, and do the right thing. Quit being selfish. Because you got people that love you. And to see how my family went through when I had the cancer.
Right.
And it's another tool of the devil.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
And that's, you know, it really gets me when I see somebody smoking a cigarette and they'll talk about somebody, well, he's a dopehead, he does drugs, he's an alcoholic, and they sit there puffing cigarettes. And it ain't no different. They're trying to justify something. That's addict behavior.
Right.
That's addict behavior.
Addict behavior. It's
behavior.
to justify.
And if you want to quit them cigarettes, just pray about it.
That's
all you got to do.
That's good.
That's all you got to do. Just pray about it.
Just pray about it.
Just pray.
Woo! Kearby.
That's all you got to do.
Jesus. Just pray about
it. Danny, I ain't kidding. I've had so many, you know, during my addiction, I was in so many predicaments. You know, I almost drowned right here in Chicago, right before Rush Street Beach.
Okay.
It was Labor Day weekend. About 2007, 2006. Been up for 3 or 4 days drinking. Went to the beach there with my buddy to meet he was having like a get together for his girlfriend to meet our family and stuff. And,
okay.
You know, we started drinking, and I'd already been up for 3 or 4 days. Matter of fact, he sent somebody to come to a bar in Gary to get me off the cocaine. and took me up there to the beach. So he was trying to watch after me.
Uh-huh.
When I get there, and I had a few beers, I go out there and drink. I get out there about a quarter mile out, and that riptide got me. And I had jeans on. And I struggled, and I fought them waves. And it's just like little soldiers. I know what they mean, that riptide. Every time I see it in the news or on the paper, somebody drowns at the beach, the riptide. I know what it is. I survived it. By the grace of God, Kearby survived it. The more I paddle and use that energy, the tired you got. And I'd already been up, like I said, I've been partying I've been on a binge. And it got to the point, as soon as one wave would hit you, you could get a breath, and the next wave would hit you, and you go, short breaths is all you could get. And then I remember I cried out. I said, girls, I was thinking about my wife and my daughters. I said, please forgive me. Because I hadn't seen them in months. I've been out on the street partying.
Right.
And I went under, and I got a mouthful of Lake Michigan, and I come back up, my face come back up, and I cried out, God, forgive me. God, forgive me. And I went down. And I had come to the conclusion, this is it. I was tired, I couldn't struggle no more. And I went down. And next thing I know, I come back up, and some little Baywatch girl, some little Italian girl had me by the neck. Sir, I got you, sir, don't fight me, don't fight me. And then I heard the boat coming. She had me with a float.
Wow.
They couldn't get me in the boat, and they drug me back to the beach, and they cleared the whole of Rush Street, that whole beach. It was Labor Day weekend. They cleared the beach because they had me up there. Ambulance was there waiting and everything.
Man, what a God when we cry out to him.
I'm telling you. They took me to the hospital right there. There's is that Rush Street Hospital? Right on Rush, right there on Lakeshore Drive, right across from Rush.
Yeah.
That's where they took me. And in full recovery. They got to me just in time, but I couldn't struggle no more. They let me out that night, and no, they didn't let me out. I got out and walked out. That's an addiction for you. I got out and walked out. I forgot, in my nightgown. And the security come got me. Waited till made somebody come get me. But when I finally somebody did come get me. I remember laying on their couch, and my whole body hurt. I mean, my neck, my shoulders, my toes, my feet, all my muscles hurt. And that was a lesson learned, that when you're fighting for your life, that adrenaline, I mean, I don't know how long I was out there, and it was by the grace of God. And the only reason they knew I was out there was a little boy had walked out on the pier, and he seen me out there, and he went back and told his mom and dad.
Wow.
Can you believe that?
It's amazing.
Yeah. So I've seen so many. I've had 6, 7 cousins OD. My cousin that shot me up with the heroin, he OD, you know?
Yeah.
His sister, their nieces, and I just so many family and friends, and just can't quit.
Can't quit.
It's evil. The drugs is of Satan.
That's right.
No question about it. You can put any spin you want to on it. Well, it's this or that's the person. To me, it's just evil. It's just
yes.
And it takes so many people out.
Yes.
So many, Danny.
Yes.
By the grace of God, I could tell you so many close calls
where he kept you.
Where he kept me, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
And here I am, and I can tell you so many more that they're not here.
Yeah.
Because they didn't get that chance. And why? I don't know. Why me?
That's right.
And I just try to be a good person now. And like I said, I have a lot of people saying, and some religious people say they don't believe in AA and Narcotics Anonymous and all those programs and stuff. But I say, look, If it works, it works. It's a tool,
Mm-hmm.
you know? And it's okay for them to believe in that or whatever for now until you get your mind straight. You know, you get drugs, they say it could take 2 or 3 years for you not doing no drugs for your mind to get wired right again.
Right, right.
You know, so it's a tool. And my buddy, the preacher in Hawaii, I said, no. I said, Mike, I said, no, it's a tool from God. I said, I know it is. Even though you're not supposed to talk religion in there, they say it's not a religious program, it's a spiritual, but it's really religious.
Yeah.
Don't let them, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just so.
Yeah.
The government considers it religious organizations.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the power of prayer.
Power.
I just can't say it enough. I can't say it enough. And just keep the faith, and you know, what will be will be.
Yes, yes. You know what, Kearby, we're gonna cut it off, but I want to do a part 2 because
Yeah.
I know the Lord has so much more. It's getting cool out,
Yeah.
where we could be warm.
Yeah, my feet are wet.
And,
I'm going to get me a pair of boots right now.
Yeah. So I appreciate you.
Yeah, we'll
you
do it
know,
again.
even after you worked all day, and
Oh, yeah.
and I know that God has allowed you to do what you're doing
That's it.
with what you just been through so short time ago.
Yeah.
And it's just a miracle to meet you at the end of a day of work, and you're still able
By
to.
the grace of God.
Yes, by the
By the
grace of God.
God.
So we just really appreciate you with this broadcast that we're bringing forth of Overcomers, that you would be a part of it and you would give your testimony to the world. And we just believe and know that someone is going to be blessed by the blessings He's done for you thus far.
Amen. And let me say one last thing.
Yes.
Today, never tap out. Do not give up 5 minutes before the miracle, people. 5 minutes before the miracle. When it's the darkest, and you think it can't get no darker. You know, don't cash in your chips. Don't give up 5 minutes before that miracle.
That's right. That's right. Because
You know?
He's always on time, and on
Yeah,
time don't
always.
mean early, does it?
No, no, on time. That's right.
Yeah.
He's been, Danny, you hit that nail on the head. He's been on time for me. Yeah, I got more I can tell you. Yeah.
I tell you the truth, even just coming out here
Yeah.
today, Kearby, you know, we've been through a lot today.
Yeah.
You know, and in my flesh, I says, oh, we'll just do it another day. And I told my wife, I says, you know what? We're going to do it. He says, he'll meet us today. Let's go. And she
Yep.
said, well, come on, let's go. And
Good. I'm glad you did.
And it was raining when we first left down. I said,
It was
oh,
snowing here.
It was snowing here. And I thought, man, what
Yeah.
are we going to do? Is it going to be raining when we
That's
got
all
there?
right. That's all right.
And we got here and it cleared up. It's cool, but it's not raining.
Yeah.
So I thank God for you, Kearby, and I love you.
I love you, and I appreciate it, and I'm thankful for the opportunity to share.
Yes, yes. So we're gonna bring you back at a later date,
Okay.
and I'd love to meet your family
Okay.
sometime and get
Oh,
get
yeah.
their side of
Yeah.
get
Yeah.
their side of the miracle.
Oh yeah, your wife could tell you. She never get. You know what? She never gave up on me.
Wow.
She never gave up on me.
Isn't it
Yeah.
amazing how God will always put somebody in our life that believes in us,
Mm-hmm.
even when it looks like nobody should.
You know, and I cheated on my wife. I had somebody that truly loved me and loved me unconditionally.
Like God.
Yeah. And all them other flings and everything. Throw rocks at me in a matter of time. It wasn't long.
Right.
And they didn't care. They just wanted my money and my dough.
Right.
You know?
Right.
And this doctor on Sarg and the wife and the preacher in Hawaii and the people that I met in Narcotics Anonymous in Houston when I went down there. Just so many people that believed in God, that believed in me.
Look at that. So many people that believed in God believed in you.
Yep,
That's a mouthful.
yep.